Okay, here's the third video in the series for the Island of Blood. I'm going to go through the rat ogres this time. I was looking forward to these guys, and this is sort of my reward after finishing up the first set of clan rats and then those sword masters. So as you can see, just put them on the base with the sand. I put some extra little bits there from the Warhammer basing set. This is also one of the resin bits from the Warhammer basing set. Just add a bit more stuff to the base. That's a piece of slate. It's because they're such big models, I figured they could use something else. So again, boot brown Krylon spray on the Skaven. Okay, so here's basically starting through the base coat. I'm skipping a bit just because I've done a lot with the same stuff. This here is the dark flesh triad from Reaper, kind of like a scorched brown, more like a chocolate brown actually. Like the GW Scorched Brown. And then also what I've done here is I've started highlighting the fleshy bits with the rosy flesh shadow triad. So it's like a warm skin tone that I've put on there over top of the spray, and then everything else is just left alone. Oh, actually, that's bolt gun metal there on all the metal parts. That's just the backside, same stuff. So here, there's, you can see, there's the paint in the background, rosy shadow. So this is just adding maybe another layer of highlights here, I think. There's the Packmaster guy. So you can see it, put the darker stuff on there on his hairy bits, and that's going to be a weathered stone I've used on his cloak there. So it's going to end up being sort of an off-white color for his little skirt. Now I've done all the strapping on him with the Reaper red ink. Again, it's kind of like Scab Red for GW. Okay, now we've gone through some washes. You can see Bad Black on the side there. So that was obviously for all of the silver bits. And I think I've also done a wash of Devlin Mud here. If it's not on there yet, it will be. Devlin Mud goes over all the silver, and I also went on the dark areas there. And you can see I've added the red to the loincloth, and that's going to be a Griffin Sepia wash on all of these skin areas. So it helps blend in the highlights I did before, as well as give it some more shade. You can see it's coming on nicely. The strapping here did the same color as the Packmaster's skirt. That's just it's going to be the Reaper Bone Triad. I'm using for those. There's the other guy there. At this point, these guys probably could be tabletop ready, but going to make things pop a bit more by bringing up some highlights. Okay, yeah, see there, now I've got the black wash there. So before it was just the Devlin Mud. Now you can see all the black in the dark areas, and that'll really tone down the silver. And then when I highlight it, well, when I give it a bit of a dry brush with chainmail, and then I'm going to put some rust on it. There you can see the dark highlights. So I've highlighted a bit of these. Not quite as obvious. See some of the highlights there. Yeah, see, I didn't really take care of that mold line, so ignore that. It's not a bad mold line. I just, because I had to paint so many guys, didn't have time to fix that up. Okay, so now I've got the rosy highlights again on here. You can see them starting to bring all the muscles out. Focused on the other guy now. So really trying to make those muscles kind of pop by making sort of exaggerated highlights. This is just some blood red, GW blood red highlights on there. See it again. Nice flat red. I really like how it looks, and it complements the Reaper red ink quite well. So obviously doing some strapping here. That's just the bone triad, getting this thing nice and built up with all the highlights. So that's a rosy highlight. It's a pretty nice, close to white color. Getting closer down to the teeth on the guy. I'm going to later do the claws. So all of these kind of scar marking things, I went around and I did them with the Reaper clear red. So it's kind of ends up like being a pinky color. I figure, kind of infected kind of a look. So that's Reaper Clear Red and watered down a lot, so it goes on like a glaze. This here's a Scorpion Green, just for all these bits, and it's going to be washed with Thraka Green. So here we're basically done. So I've added some red eyes there. Here was what was that going to be now? It's like a bluish gray, and then I put a thick wash, a black wash on it after to make it a lot darker. You see here all the stitching on this side here. I went over it all and highlighted that little bit there with an off-white just to make it bright again. Here, this has been given some glazes of Scorpion Green all over the flesh, so it kind of comes through transparent, makes it look like it's glowing. And that's, just Scorpion Green highlights over top of the Thraka wash. Packmaster just finishing him up as well. Again, blood red highlights here. For the silver bits, with some whatchamacallit, chainmail, GW chainmail, and some Reaper Rust Brown. There we go, getting the warpstone look there going. And then we're all finished. These guys paint up quite fast. I mean, there's only a couple different colors. You can see the scratches I added there with some the chainmail mithril silver just for the edge highlights. These are great models, paint up really fast, easy to assemble, pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, please feel free to add them to the comments. Hope you enjoyed it. There's more to come. You can check out my blog. It's like watching paintdry.blogspot.com, and these are painted for miniwargaming.com. You can click the link in the description to follow over there.